Welcome to FX Street. Going to be going over Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Shiba, Doge, Polkadot, and Cardano this morning, and talking about what they're doing, where they're going, our outlooks for the remainder of the week, or at least until we visit again over them on Friday. But before we do that, we would really encourage you to head on over to YouTube, join our channel by hitting that subscribe button. Follow us on FXS Crypto on Twitter, and you can follow Akash and I individually on Twitter, Akash at Mangyeko, and myself at JustAnalysis1. Taking a look here at Cardano. So Cardano, it's very possible that Cardano could break, and I mean, there's like a week left, roughly, a little more than a week. Actually, we've got 8 days, 9 days. 9 days left, so okay, roughly a third of the month of March left, which doesn't seem like that. Anyways, so okay, monthly. I mean, Cardano continues to be a regular old shite show when it comes to performance in the altcoin space. It's still a top 10 market cap crypto, but it is easily the most painful and worst performing out of the bunch. It ever since the last week or so, it looked like it was going to turn into a 7 consecutive month loss record, but a little bit of a change possibly going on here because there's obviously seeing a little bit of a bounce go around the board today. Cardano has spiked up quite a bit since the 14th. So over the last 8 days or week or so, a little over a week from the 14th open to where the high is today, excuse me, 22% rise. Pretty good. Nothing wrong with that. But it's facing some pressure now on the daily chart up against the top, bottom of the cloud at the Senko span A on the daily chart. That's likely to be an area of resistance, and could even see some pullback occur here. But here's the deal. So 55 and 65 are the overbought levels when the RSI is in a bear market, which it is, and right now, if I look at it, why does this not seem right? It's very wonky. Anyways, I would expect to see some pressure here on some selling pressure today, maybe, or going into tomorrow near this 96-cent level. But depending on how the momentum is, it may not last. And the optics bands, which is kind of measuring, it's like a variable dynamic volume profile with momentum, and it's at its extremes right now. But to be fair, there has been very little volume traded on Cardano, so that's kind of moot. But the RSI is at 59 right now, and 65 is the last overbought level. So if it moves to 65, doesn't find sellers, moves up to 70, doesn't find sellers, it's probably going to just kind of rocket launch higher. On the weekly chart, I mean, yeah, last week's close was extremely bullish. This week it looks like it wants to continue that, and you have this very this is the only thing that makes me a little cautious about anticipating some selling even at the dollar range, is that when you look at the weekly chart, it's very expansionist. It's very it's very much pointing to substantial spikes higher here. And then you look at the monthly chart, it's the same way. So yeah, I don't see a ton of reason to anticipate a lot of downside pressure here, barring it like nuclear war. And that, before you could probably say that was a joke, but now that's an actual like possibility. But so I'd say the upside potential before Kash and I visit again, that upside potential for Cardano is going to be in that $1 to $1.05 range. And then the downside risks, I would say, are going to be limited to 90 cents. But I could see it pulling back, late into Tuesday here, Wednesday, Thursday, and test the 90-cent level as a support zone before continuing higher. But we'll see how that plays out. But that does it for me. I'll pass it off to you, Akash.
Thank you, John. So for Cardano, right, things are looking pretty good. Based on this Adam and Eve pattern that not sure if I just actually discussed this, but the Adam and Eve pattern is looking pretty good. And the price is slowly starting towards the $1 psychological level. So the target, right, for this particular setup is you measure the peak of this Adam and Eve pattern and the lowest valley. Just 1 second. Let me just Right, so this particular setup forecasts a 25% upswing, which is determined by measuring the distance between the peak and the value of Adam and Eve and adding it to the breakout point, which is $1. So that puts Cardano at roughly 1.36, which would make sense considering the demand zone, like the 4-hour supply zone present here. So to summarize, Cardano price is in a bottom reversal pattern, which is an Adam and Eve pattern. This particular pattern forecasts a 25% upswing. If you add that to the breakout point $1, then you can expect Cardano price to 1.36, which coincides with the 4-hour demand supply zone here extending from 1.32 to 1.43. As for the downside, you don't want to see Cardano price break this pattern here and produce like a lower low, something like this. This would invalidate the bullish thesis. So basically any daily candlestick close below 0.86 would produce a lower low and thereby invalidating the bullish thesis setup, which is Adam and Eve. But if invalidating Adam and Eve setup doesn't necessarily mean the bullish thesis will remain invalidated, the price could find support at 0.85 before making another attempt, in which case then the upside is capped at $1. If the Adam and Eve pattern holds, then you can expect Ethereum Cardano to go up to 1.36. So that's my take on Cardano.
Thank you everyone for watching. Again, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on our YouTube channel and on Twitter at FXS Crypto.